Today, our plenary session is with Dr. S.K. Shukla sir. Shukla sir is forensic scientist with 48 years of experience in education, research, training, management, and actual forensic case examinations. He has been a former campus director, professor and dean, LNG and NICFS, Delhi campus, NFSU, and has also worked as professor and director in Amity University for 8 years, devoted to UG, PG, and doctoral students. He has guided 19 research scholars who were awarded PhD degrees in many areas of forensic science. He has more than 230 research papers published and presented more than 100 papers in conferences. He has shared many scientific sessions in conferences and seminars, as well as has delivered invited talks regularly on national and international forums. He has served as chief examiner and approved guide for research for Osmania University, JNTU Hyderabad, IIT Roorkee, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur University Sagar, Schwartz University Allahabad, Punjabi University Patiala, Punjab University Chandigarh, Rajasthan University Jaipur, MDU Rohtak, Amity University Noida, and Haryana. In addition, he has acted as advisor expert in various selection boards at central and state level for the selection of officers in government departments. He has also worked as director at CFSL Hyderabad and Chandigarh. As a scientist, he has expertise in chemistry, toxicology, explosives, narcotics, drugs, petroleum products, quality management, crime scene investigation, and experts' evidence in courts of law. He has conducted training programs, examined several thousand crime cases, investigated crime scenes, and deposed in courts of law as an expert. As the director of CFSLs, he had improved and modernized the infrastructure in the laboratories, set up and developed forensic investigation facilities such as DNA, bulletproof testing, cyber forensics, and voice examination. He has also been trained in Netherlands and FBI USA in the field of instrumentation and quality management, also an assessor for the American Society of Crime Laboratory Directors Laboratory Accreditation Board International, USA, and NABL, India. A warm welcome to you, sir, to our session where your expertise and insights will ignite inspiration and drive meaningful discussions. With further ado, I invite you, sir, to captivate us as you commence this enlightening session.
Thank you, Nisha.
Thank you,
I'm
sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I welcome all the participants of this program. As already discussed by Nisha about myself, I've also worked in Amity University till February 2021. And I used to take classes of quality management at BSc level. So now, often I found students who have passed out from the Amity. They come sometimes and they meet me, and they also always remember, sir, do you have taught us this quality management? This is a subject which is very important in every field of science, not only forensic, every field. So, but the concept of quality management is not very simple as it looks to be. So I start with what quality is. So my first slide. See, in life, you want to achieve success. You have to work very hard. This is the key to success. Hard work and determination. This is a very simple slide. Without hard work, you cannot achieve. But simply hard work cannot yield any result. Or sometimes something awkward results, bad results. What you want to be, it's not like that. Like another slide, you will understand. You know this person. I think most of you know about this man. He is famous figure, and a lot of people, a lot of students have got motivation from him to join forensic science in CID. But he could not do anything because he did a lot of hard work. But what he got only inspector's job to break the doors. So simply hard work cannot do anything, because hard work, if it is not systematic, it has no meaning. So my advice to everybody is go for hard work. Also, always remember, when your idea of work or your approach of work is unsystematic, you are going to have a lot of mistakes in life. Sometimes mistakes can be okay. You can do with that mistakes, but sometimes they are not okay. So there is an unsystematic risk like this. Ups and downs in life, in work, in every field. And what happens when you do the mistakes? You becomes like this. You learn a lot, but a lot of injuries are there. From theory, we learn a lot. From practice, we learn a lot. And from mistakes, we'll learn like anything. Sky is the limit. But it's a very long process. So I will not advise everyone to learn only from mistakes. My advice is to go systematically in each and every field of life. Okay. See, we are all forensic scientists. Our reports can do wonders in the courts. If reports are okay, correct, justice cannot be denied. But in any mistake, in case of any mistake, justice can be defeated. Can we afford mistakes in forensics? My answer is absolutely no. Because it's a question of life and death of a person. In forensics, no mistakes, or at least minimize the mistakes. How to do it? So before going to the how to minimize the mistakes, I want to just know from you also, what are the basic roles of forensic scientists? This is the question generally being asked during UPSC interviews and other interviews. And in 99% cases, what I have experienced, the answers were wrong or partially correct. The very basic role of a forensic scientist is analysis. Analyze evidences referred by the IOs, including scene of crime or any other request for opinion. That comes in the analysis. I remember a case when a team of CBI officers came to me and discussed a case. And suddenly, after almost 8 years, I got summons from the court, from Assam, to appear and depose. Initially, I said I cannot go because I am not related to, I have no role in the analysis of the case. But since warrant was also issued, I had to go, and I found there what they did. They submitted what was transpired with me in that meeting with the CBI officers. It was given by CBI officer to the court. It was there. in writing, and they wanted to discuss that particular report of mine, which I discussed with the CBI, and they called me for evidence on that. It is not always that samples are examined. Our opinions on certain cases or certain issues is also there, because this is also applying mind to form the opinion. So very first role is the analysis. The next role is whatever you do in the laboratory, it is your own job. Sometimes examination is conducted for months together, and the report is submitted. I remember a case in Chandigarh where DNA case was there, more than 350 samples were received. Examination continued for more than 6 months, and the report was submitted after that. So prepare a report describing their results. What the court's requirement is, that report must be very clear, accurate, unambiguous, and objective. These are 4 keywords of a report. Okay. So second role is presenting the report to the court of law. And the third role is court testimony, defending the report in court of law. You have already idea about the examination in chief and cross-examination. These are 3 basic roles of a forensic scientist. Sometimes the questions are asked, what is the basic role of forensic chemist? Simply replace chemist in place of scientist. Roles are same. Okay. So if we have to do something successfully in life or in the laboratory, we have to develop competence. The meaning of competence is knowledge, skill, experience, performance, behavior. Behavior also part of it. Goal. Goal is the report. Outcome. If anything is lacking, then it is not competence. So how to do the things in a proper way? How to become competent in examination? We have to implement quality management system. Because already I have said, it is human nature, then that if we do any kind of work, mistakes are going to occur. We cannot avoid mistakes. But what we can do, that mistakes are detected before the results are reported. How to do it? Add quality in working and implement quality management system. As ISO has a definition of quality management system, this is written in this slide. Management system to direct and control an organization with regard to quality. This is the definition of QMS as for ISO 9000. Then question comes, what is quality? This is a very general question, and is being asked in the interview boards also. And we got different answers from different participants or with different candidates. Hardly satisfactory answers are there. So if you see the meaning of it, achievement of excellence. Quality means achievement of excellence. But this is subjective. Quality is not subjective. We can express this as achievement of excellence. So we can say it is inherent or distinctive characteristic of a person, object, process, or any other thing. Again, it is subjective. But ISO says, or what quality means is that quality means quality of a product. In forensic, our report is the product. Examination is the process. Submission of preparation of report is more important. Our product is the report. So quality means that product satisfies the demand of its specification and customer satisfaction. See, demand of its specification and customer satisfaction. And if you see the ISO 17025, and it is all about the quality management system in the laboratories. But ISO has a definition of quality, which is given in this slide, degree to which a set of inherent characteristics fulfills the requirement. That means how to understand about the quality. Suppose we are making some food product. There is a specification of the food product. You want to make it a cup of tea. You know that for preparing best quality of tea, certain amount of sugar, certain amount of water, or milk, or heating, it is all mentioned in the specifications. If you go as per the specifications strictly, the product will be good, or as per the quality. Another example is using appropriate fuel in the vehicle. Suppose you are running a car on gasoline and petrol is adulterated, there will be malfunction in the vehicle because your product is not of good quality product. Or driving in a wrong lane, wrong side. This is part of the not following the standard parameters. Or using non-calibrated equipment. You're working in the laboratory. If you're using thermometer, but thermometer is not calibrated, the reading will be wrong. And your result will be wrong. Or not doing work in the laboratory as per standard procedures. Like not correct pH in the extractions in toxicology or in narcotics. Like that. So we have to follow the standard parameters as prescribed in the standard literature or developed by a particular team of scientists. If we work as according to them, then we are doing quality work. So, as already I have said, the good quality management system will help to minimize errors, because we cannot avoid errors. It's human nature. But errors can be minimized and detect errors when they occur, so that corrective actions can be taken. Quality management system covers every aspect of laboratory work that can affect the quality of the results reported. If we implement the quality management system as per the ISO 17025, all the laboratory operations are covered in that particular booklet of ISO. Okay. So implement requirements of ISO IEC 17025. The latest version is 2017 version. This is third issue of the ISO 17025. And when you read the title itself, It is general requirement for the competence. What for? Competence of testing and calibration laboratories. The question comes here, what is the difference between testing and calibration laboratories? Testing labs are those where samples are examined or tested. Samples received from the customer. It will not cover laboratory which is in the education sector or your work in a college or university, which is not involved in the sample from outside agency. Okay. And the calibration laboratories are those where equipments are calibrated. Those equipments are used in the testing. Separate laboratories are there, and we can send our equipment regularly there for rotational calibrations. So this ISO 17025, the latest version is 2017, specifies the general guidelines for competence, impartiality, and consistent operation of laboratory. I think everybody is understanding about this. If any problem is there with any student, or if you want to ask any question, he can ask at the end of the lecture. Okay. So then question comes also in the examination also, how the ISO 17025 is drafted. So not only this, every international standard is drafted in accordance with the rules given in the ISO IEC Directive Part 2. There is another booklet issued by the ISO. And these draft standard, after thorough discussion among the subcommittee, are circulated to the national bodies for voting, and publication of the national standard required approval of at least 75% of the national bodies. The ISO IEC 17025, prepared by a subcommittee of ISO, that is, committee's name is Committee on Conformity Assessment, CASCO. The first edition came in 1999. It was replaced in 2005, and now the third one is in place. And all the assessments are being done of the laboratories as per the latest version of the ISO. Then what is ISO? ISO is the International Organization for Standardization, is an independent NGO. It is NGO, not government body, whose membership consists of different national standard bodies. And till December 2022, there are 167 members, or I must say 167 countries representing ISO in their different countries. Okay, they are members representing ISO. And we, on the other hand, we can say 167 countries are member of the ISO. Similarly, IEC, International Electrotechnical Commission, has 170 countries as members, and it has more than 20,000 experts as associated experts. So already I have said that this particular document, ISO IEC 17025, was prepared by ISO's subcommittee, CASCO, and circulated for voting to the national bodies of both ISO and IEC, and was approved by both the organizations. And I'll show you the front page of the ISO document, which is available online. You can download free of course from the Google. Okay. So, and every student of quality management must have this document with him. What it covers. See, already I've said each and every part of the laboratory activity it covers. You see the contents. I am starting for the section 4, general requirements that contain impartiality, confidentiality, then structural requirement, then resource requirement that contains personal facilities, environmental conditions, equipment, meteorological traceability, extremely provided products and services, process requirements, review of requests, standard contract selection, verification and validation of methods, sampling, then handling of test and calibration items, technical records, evaluation of measurement uncertainty, ensuring validity of results, reporting of results, complaints, non-conforming work, control of data, information management system, documentation, control of management system documents, control of record, action to address risk and opportunities, improvements, corrective actions, internal audits, management reviews. In a very brief, I have given this. So you see that these contents cover each and every aspect of any laboratory is working. Another very important thing is what is the difference between quality management and quality assurance. Quality assurance is any systematic process used to determine if a product or service meets quality standards. And in QMS, quality management is ensure that an organization, product or service consistently functions well or not. How to manage? Okay. Now comes accreditation. Accreditation, what is the meaning of it? In 1996, probably, I heard about this for the first time. We were called to attend a meeting in Calcutta, Central Forensic Science Lab, and the discussion was about accreditation. See, I was not aware of the word, so I had to see the dictionary meaning. Even after seeing the dictionary meaning, I was not able to understand what it is. Then, after the meeting was over for 2 days, and then I got training in quality management student Jaipur, like that. It took me several days, several weeks to understand what accreditation is. It was new to us. But nowadays it's very common. And I have just written here that accreditation is a formal independent verification. Formal independent verification that a program or institution meets established quality standards and competent to carry out specific tasks. Who will verify? Authorized agency, of course. Okay. So accreditation is based on assessment of an agency's technical qualifications. And when I say agency, that means laboratory here. So laboratory is for technical qualification and competence for conducting specific testing. See, specific test, not journal, calibration and inspection activities within the scope of ISO IEC 172. So quality accreditation of a laboratory ensures proper quality management system of its activities and provides recognition of its technical competence. It is all about competence. This is third-party recognition. You can understand like that. What is a third party? See, in each and every country, we have several agencies In India, we have an NABL. In other countries also, so I'm just giving some names. The third party in India is National Accreditation Board for Calibration and Testing Laboratories. Its headquarters is in Gurgaon. This particular agency is dealing with, NABL is dealing with all the type of laboratories, including forensic labs. Also, they also deal with the pathological lab, textile labs, defense laboratories, so many other laboratories. Okay, so forensic is also a part of it. In America, they have American Society of Crime Laboratory Directors, Escalade International, and Escalade Lab International, and they are the pioneer of quality management system in the entire world. In Australia, they have NATA, National Association of Testing Authorities, and I must mention here, in 2001, Central Forensic Science Laboratory, Hyderabad became the first accredited forensic laboratory in India, where a team of assessors came from NATA, Australia. It was a very tough assessment. And as quality manager and as technical manager, I was associated with the CFC Hyderabad. In UK, they have UCAS, UKAS. Similarly, South African National Accreditation System is there. Almost each and every, all the countries are having different agencies, and all these agencies worldwide are linked with each other, like NABL to Escalade to NATA and all, through MRAs, mutual recognition agreements, so that reports submitted by accredited laboratories in India, they are also acceptable in the USA, Canada, and Australia, and Germany, and South Africa, everywhere. So similarly, reports submitted by the laboratories in US or Australia, if they are having their accreditation from their agencies, they are also acceptable in India. So there is a, this is called MRA, Mutual Recognition Agreements. Okay. So I was talking of competency. What meaning? Meaning is, see, I have already given the slide is self-speaking. Okay. Something the person is able to complete the work with the quality management system in place. Yeah. So this QMS is a documented system. It's not verbal. It's a system. So we have to prepare a lot of documents to prepare the laboratory for implementation of quality management system. The very first document is quality manual. In quality manuals, what are the requirements as per the ISO 17025 in different clauses or sections? We have to see and write the answer there in the quality manual. Suppose they ask about the personnel, we have to write, we have the best qualified personnel with technical manpower of the area. So this quality manual contains policies and objectives, commitments of laboratory about its working. Policies, objectives, and commitments. Not the procedure. It is all about the policies. But how to implement those policies? We have a different document that is also generally called as service manual, or sometimes we call it executive procedure manual. How to execute the policies and objectives and commitments. We have different policies for different type of activities. And a forensic lab, like when case is received, we have a policy of case receiving, case disposal, for waste management, like that. So many areas are there where we have to work. We have a procedure for each and everything. Third, very important document is the health and safety manual. Because if we are not taking care of the health and safety, we cannot work properly. So health and safety manual also is there, very important. Security manual, how the laboratory is secured, how the exhibits are secured, working culture is secured, everything is there. That comes in the security manual. Procurement manual also is there in the government sector. Procurement GFR is there, where all procurements are given. In private sector, they prepare manuals accordingly. And very, very important is laboratory working procedure manuals for various activities. Like we are in toxicology, in narcotics, in chemistry, in explosives, in petroleum products, in ballistics, DNA, documents, lie detection, brain fingerprinting, like that. Each and every sub areas or field have its own working procedure manuals, standard working procedure manuals, specific for laboratory. So laboratory has to work according to those manuals. So these manuals are very, very important. Various type of forms and formats are used in the daily laboratory activities. So what we have done, we have combined all those forms and formats in a manual form. That's called format and form manual. Number 8 is standard literature. Sometimes everything is not possible to include in the manual. So we give the reference to the literature published in various journals. Validated methods are there. So we should have standard literature with us. And SOP, standard operating procedures. Why SOPs are required? Because every time it's very difficult to go and consult the laboratory manuals. For example, if there is one acid spill in the laboratory, how to deal with the acid spill? The person working in the laboratory, he is required to act immediately. If there is no time to go and take out the manual from the Almeida, then consult it. So in outlines, it is mentioned in the chart form, SOPs are displayed in the laboratory like that. So SOPs are there, standard operating procedures. If you see the laboratory is working, every person of the laboratory must have defined roles. Start from the director or the chief executive officer. Then comes the quality manager, technical manager, health and safety manager, security manager, supervisors, reporting officer, test scientist, supporting staff. I think everyone understand about this. As I say, reporting officers and test scientists. The person who is signing the report is a reporting officer, but he is assisted by various other scientists. So they are also the scientists, so they are also called as test scientists, like that. So this type of hierarchy, each and every person must have. Normally, what we have in the forensic lab, director, additional director, deputy director, assistant director, scientific officer, scientific assistant, like that. This is the hierarchy. But this is not going to work. In the quality management system, we have to have this. Each and every person will have defined role and responsibilities. Okay. So this is the QMS setup in the laboratory. See, and actual worker is the various divisions in the forensic lab, like physics division, chemistry division, toxi, bio, and so on, like that. Now, NABL 113 and 113A, though it is booklet is there, specification that they are, but they have become obsolete. So laboratories have to go as per ISO 17025 only. Okay. Then what is the process of accreditation? The very first thing, this is process of accreditation used for the word the similar way. We have to implement each and every requirement of ISO 17025. Each and every. It's a very exhaustive work. Like recruitment of scientists, infrastructure, instrumentation, calibrations, like that. Each and everything. And prepare documents accordingly. Already I have discussed the document part, quality manual, executive procedure manual, other manuals also. And if laboratory feels, then it is ready for assessment. Then laboratory will submit an application to the NABL in India, if we are in India. So, or if they want to go for Escalate, then they can apply to Escalate or FQS, Forensic Quality Services in US or NATA. It is a choice of the laboratory. But in India, I think it is better to go for NABL. So application is submitted to the NABL along with the list of facilities, resources, funding, etc. is full exhaustive document of application. It is submitted describing various activities along with a copy of the quality manual. What NABL does, NABL is a body comprising of various functionaries, but they several thousand experts are on their list panel. They will assign a panel or scientists of the laboratory to examine the application part and also examine quality manual submitted by the laboratory, whether the manual is written as per the requirements or not. If anything is lacking, the laboratory will be informed by the NABL. Please correct it. And after correction, if the manual is written in proper way, because animal quality manual is the first level document showing the laboratory activities. So laboratory is ready for assessment. Then a pre-assessment visit is conducted by one or two scientists of the field. They are sent to the laboratory for a visit of pre-assessment visit for a day or two, where they just see the working of the laboratory and they will check some of the documents, instruments, facilities, experts, and if anything found lacking, they advise the laboratory to take corrective actions accordingly and prepare for final assessment. A date is fixed for final assessment. Then a team of main assessors comprising of one lead assessor and various technical assessors of like somebody is from chemistry, somebody is from biology, somebody is from document, somebody is from computer science, like that. They come and they sit with each and every department of the laboratory accordingly, and they assess the testing. They see, but they will also witness the tests. And after the assessment is over, the report is submitted. If any non-compliance is found, that means laboratory is not working as per the required standard, then it is informed to the laboratory that please correct it. If the correction is possible, then itself on the spot it is NC is removed and laboratory is cleared in that particular non-compliance, and the final report is submitted to the NABL. Again, in the NABL, they have a apex committee, accreditation committee at NABL level of very senior experts. They again review the reports submitted by the assessors, and something is lacking or something is not as per the required standard or something is left behind unchecked. It again laboratory is contacted and they are they are instructed to do the needful. And after the needful is done, the final recognition is given by NABL on the advice or on the recommendation of the accreditation committee, and a certificate of accreditation is granted to the laboratory. After 2 years, the laboratory can apply for accreditation, renewal of accreditation. This is the process of accreditation. Now because it is very difficult to discuss each and every aspect of the contents of the ISO 17025 in a very short time, like 2 hours. So I will take certain important parameter things here, sections of the ISO, and discuss here. What is traceability? If with the meaning, that means traceability means that ability to trace something as it moves through a process. So metrological traceability is the property of a measurement result which can be related to a reference through a documented unbroken chain of calibrations. For easy understanding, I must give an example. A sample is received suspected to be morphine. How to test that? We have to conduct tests in the laboratory as per the standard operating procedure and standard laboratory procedure manual that contains standard procedures of analysis. That is one way of traceability. Another is we have a standard sample of morphine that is called CRM, certified reference material, and compare the results with the standard one. Our CRM is traceable to the original sample kept at the authorized place of the morphine. So we have to examine the samples as for traceability and say this particular morphine sample is as good as the CRM, which is traceable to the original morphine kept in the authorized agency by the authorized agency. That is traceability. You are tracing something to its original source. So requirement is under clause 6.5.1 that laboratory shall. When we say shall, that means it is mandatory. Laboratory has to do. Laboratory shall establish and maintain metrological traceability of its measurement results by means of documented unbroken chain of calibrations, each contributing to measurement uncertainty, and linking them to an appropriate reference. Linking them to appropriate reference is very, very important to understand the traceability. Okay. Another requirement is laboratory shall ensure that measurement results are traceable to the international system of units through calibration provided by the competent laboratory. Already I have said the instruments must be calibrated. Okay. Then again it says when metrological traceability to the SI units is not technically possible, the laboratory shall demonstrate metrological traceability to an appropriate reference. That means comparing the result with the standard one. Like CRM, already I have discussed this just now, or by the standard procedures. Okay. Validation of methods. What is validation? Whatever methods which are being used in the laboratory for examination, if they give correct results, time and again, then we say it's validated method. So we have to validate each and every method to see its workability, whether it is working as per the requirements or not. So when we say validation, it is just nothing but act of confirming something as true or correct. So the requirement is in the clause 7.2.2.1 of the ISO, laboratory shall validate non-standard methods. That means if any method is non-standard or homemade, that has to be validated. It's very clear. Laboratory developed methods also shall be validated. And again it says standard methods used outside their intended scope, otherwise modified, shall be more validated. And validation shall be as extensive as it is necessary. That validation includes sampling, handling, transportation of test and calibration items. That is validation. So when we go for validation, we have to use several techniques for methods. So it says technique used for method validation can be one or a combination of several one, like use calibration or evaluation using CRM or SRM. CRM is certified reference material and SRM is secondary reference material. See, CRM are purchased from the authorized agency. They are also very costly. We cannot use daily work these CRMs. What we do, we prepare our own standard reference materials after comparing the result with the CRMs, and we use those one. Those are called SRM. So calibration and evaluation using SRM and CRM. Another method is systematic assessment of factors influencing the results. Testing variation of control parameters, whether they are working or not as per the requirement, like incubator, temperature, volume, etc. Comparison of results achieved with other validated methods, because for one type of testing we have several methods. So you can use different methods to compare our results. Inter-laboratory comparisons. In this, the samples are sent to various laboratories and results are sought. After receiving the results are compared whether we are going as per the requirements or not. And also by measuring the uncertainty of the results, how uncertain we are, and whether this is under the acceptable range or not. When sometimes validated methods are required to be changed in the laboratory, very common practice. So when changes are made to the validated method, the influence of such changes shall be determined and record shall be maintained like that. I'll go a little fast because time is running out. See, records of validation. Laboratory shall retain the following records of validation, because when assessors will come, they will check. Procedure used, specification of the requirement, determination of performance characteristics method, results obtained, and a statement on the validity of the method, whether the method is fit for use or not. Because after each and every validation, we have to write the results. If method is fit or not. Okay. This record must be there. Another topic is measurement uncertainty. What is uncertainty? Uncertainty means doubt, suspicion, mistrust, means lack of sureness, or we can say lack of conviction or knowledge, especially about an outcome of the result. How uncertain we are about the end result. It is like that. So we can say uncertainty as measure used here means the range of possible values within which the true value of the measurement lies. The correct definition is the range of possible values within which the true value of the measurement lies. Example, we write sometimes 20 cm plus minus 1. That means it can be from 19 to 21. It can be like that. Plus minus 1 here and there. So measurement uncertainty is the estimated difference from the accurate value. Okay. So laboratory has to identify the contributions to the uncertainty measurements. So each and every instrument has to be checked for its uncertainty. Okay. Now the question is here in how much important is measurement of uncertainty in forensic sciences? When we have no standard sample for comparison with the question sample, then it becomes very important. If we have some standard sample for comparison, like in forensic, because majority of the forensic tests are comparison studies. When we are comparing something, the uncertainty will be part of both the samples. When it will be part of both the samples, questioned as well as standard one, then it becomes 0. You got my point or not? When uncertainty is there in questioned as well as in the sample effort, standard one, it becomes 0. So it is only ornamental. But when we have no control sample or standard sample, then we have to compare the result with the standard values given the literature. Then it becomes more important. Okay, like that. So fortunately, in forensics, 80% examinations are comparative studies. Okay, but still, in particularly quantitative estimations, this is more important. Equipment. See, when we talk of equipment, it is most of the students, they do not know the difference between equipment and instrument. What I have just tried to explain here, what equipment is. So equipment is a set of tools, clothing needed for a particular activity or purpose, like computer, electrical, farm equipment. But instruments are used to measure the units like flow, pressure, weight. Thermometer is a good instrument, like that. And equipment is part of several instruments used for a particular purpose. So equipment consists of one or more instruments to perform different type of activities. Okay. I think this drawing which is given here is very self-explanatory. Okay. So the very first requirement of the ISO is laboratory shall have access to the equipment. That means if we are doing particular type of job and we are having ISO certification, laboratory cannot say we don't have the equipment. Equipment has to be provided by the whatever authorities are. Okay, they cannot deny. So laboratory shall have access to the lab. When we say laboratory shall have access to the equipment, we mean the persons or the scientists working in the laboratory. Example, measuring equipment, software, measurement standard, reference material, reference data, reagent, consumable, auxiliary apparatus, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So laboratory have all those such equipment available in the laboratory. Sometimes what happens, the instrument is out of order, or we have ordered but it's not come. We have to take work. So this clause is about that. When laboratory uses equipment outside its permanent control, what should it do? Then laboratory has to verify the other laboratory of which the equipment is being used, then it is under QMS or not. They may be having accreditation, it's okay. If they are not having accreditation, but they are using it, then the first laboratory has to ensure about the quality of the equipment, whether it is properly calibrated, having no uncertainty or uncertainty acceptable range, like that. Laboratory has to ensure that equipment is as per the required standards. Similarly, laboratory has to document the procedure for handling, transport, storage, use, and planned maintenance of equipment. And if any equipment is out of order, that has to be kept in a separate place, marked as out of service. Okay. And again, 6.4.5 is laboratory, the equipment used for measurement shall be capable of achieving the measurement accuracy. Okay. And we all are scientists, so we know each and every, before each and every test, calibration is a must. So nothing very serious here. We know all about it. But here, laboratory shall establish a calibration program for each and every equipment, which shall be reviewed and adjusted as per necessary in order to maintain confidence in the status of calibration. Program must be there. It's a planned activity. Okay. And there is a system by labeling the equipment. I'm just leaving it. Okay. Record shall be maintained for each and every equipment. We should show the identity of the equipment, manufacturer's name, evidence of verification, current location, calibration date, status, documentation reference, material, etc., etc., maintenance plan, and details of any damage, malfunction, or modification, repair, etc. Each and every record must be there. See, we were talking about the examination part earlier. See, reporting of results. Our product is result. If results are not as per the required parameter standards or not acceptable, the entire exercise of analysis is waste. So ISO has given guidelines about the various contents of the report, how it should be written. The very first is ISO 7.8.1.1. It is mentioned here. Results shall be reviewed and authorized prior to release. At the start, it is saying, whatever results are reported, they shall be reviewed. That means without review, results cannot be released. And person signing the report must be authorized by the competent authority. The meaning is this. And in the beginning, I said about the report, every report shall be accurate, clear, unambiguous, and objective. These 4 keywords are there for writing a report. And it shall include all information necessary for the interpretation of results and all information required by the method used. And again, it says all issued reports shall be retained as technical records. Now, these are the common requirements. How to write the report? Each report shall include at least the following information unless laboratory has a valid reason not to include those. Number one is title. Everybody knows about it. Like test report, calibration report, examination report, like that. Name and address of the laboratory, location of the performance of the test, unique identification number, name and contact number of the customer. Customer means in forensic lab, generally police is a customer. Then identification of method used. For example, we are doing some extraction procedure or something. We have to identify which method we have used. We have to write in the report, like manual number so and so, section so and so, page number so and so. Then a description, unambiguous identification, and whenever necessary condition of the test items. Date of receipt of the samples, date of performance of the laboratory activities, date of issue of report, then reference to the sampling plan. Because whoever has done the sampling, how it has been done. If sampling is not done properly, then the result will not be good. Okay. Then statement to the effect that scales relate only to the item tested. Identification of person authorizing report, like that. Now I will, because this I have given, I will show you one example of report. Before that, reporting opinions and interpretations. When opinions and interpretations are expressed, because in forensic it is a must, we give the opinions and interpretations. The laboratory shall ensure that only authorized personnels, then personnel authorized for the expression of opinion or interpretation, release their respective report. That means only authorized person will give the report. And again, very important is laboratory shall document the basis upon which the opinions and interpretations have been made. In chemical testing, DNA testing, or any physics testing, computer science, whatever data, examination data is there, this is the basis. In document examination, whatever the reasoning is there, that is the basis. And it says, opinions and interpretations expressed in reports shall be based on the results obtained. That means we cannot speculate anything. Whatever report is given or results are given, it should be based on evidence, no speculation. Okay. Now I give you one example of report here. This is, I have given one, for example, I have given a format. ABC Forensic Science Laboratory, Government of, whatever you write, UP or MP or Delhi, what you can write. All government laboratories are legal entities as per the ISO 17005 to submit examination reports, all government laboratories. So ABC Forensic Laboratory, Government of so and so, and full address should be there. Like I have, for example, I have given one sector 125 Noida, telephone number, email, along with the logo. Logo means government logo and NABL accreditation logo. Okay. Then title comes examination report, case number like FSL/23/narco/101 plus dated so and so, whatever it is. See, whenever case is sent, it is sent by the police in the forensic lab normally. So I have written a case came from SSP, so SSP Noida, wide letter number so and so, dated so and so. FIR or DD number. FIR means first information number, or DD daily diary report number. 31, for example, again the 31, dated 3/3/23 under NDPS Act. Then we have to state in the report how the sample was received. Received through Constable Mr. So and so, number so and so, on dated so and so. 2 sealed parcels were received. Seals were intact and tallied with the specimen seal. This information we have to write in the report in forensics. Then comes the identification of method used. So we can write as per the narcotics manual of the laboratory, and we give the page number and section number of the manual. Okay. Then comes the description of the items. Already in the initial stage, I have said report shall be clear, accurate, unambiguous, and objective. Objective report should be there. So this description I have given, for example, it's a case of opium. Parcel number 1, 5 seals of RS in number 1 parcel. So we can write in report 1 sealed glass jar containing exhibit 1. Then exhibit 1 we can write some dark brownish black semi-solid substance, 200 gram. We have to weigh samples. We cannot write approximate. Correct weight has to be given. Said to be opium seized by the police from the car of the accused. This is from the actual case I have given here. Suppose second case, second parcel, 7 seals of RS. Again, some dark brownish black semi-solid substance, 350 gram, still to be opium recovered from the house of the accused. We have to mention this. Okay. Then reference to the sampling plan. Now see, reference to the sampling plan, sampling is done by the police. It is not in our control. So simply we can write collected by the police, and then dates of performance of the test. When the test was started and when it was completed. Case may be received, may have been received on 1st of January, but turn came in the month of March or May. So we have to write actual dates of performance of the test. Here I mentioned, like, for example, 5th May to 7th May. And then results of examination. So results have two parts, results and opinion. In case of opium, I must mention here, for declaring that it's opium, we have to conduct 6 chemical tests. Test for morphine, test for codeine, test for thepane, test for papaverine, test for narcotin. 5 major alkaloids. Opium is having about more than 26 alkaloids. 5 alkaloids are major alkaloids. So we go for testing of 5 major alkaloids and meconic acid. Meconic acid shows the natural opium of the natural source of opium. So 6 tests is for meconic acid. And we have to write there positive, positive, positive there. Then percentage of morphine, quantitative estimation. Why it is? Because there for NDPS Act, it is mentioned that any substance having this type of test as positive, and if it contains morphine more than 0.2%, then it can be termed as opium. Not if it's not having morphine more than 0.2%, then it's not opium. This is the requirement of NDPS Act. So in this particular case, opinion shall be written like this. Contents of Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 were found to be opium as per NDPS Act of 1985. Then, Note 1. Results relate only to the item tested. This is a requirement to ISO. See why this has been given, because police see sometimes opium in quintals, but they send only 100 grams or 200 grams or 50 grams of opium. Sample may not be homogeneous in nature. So sample, whatever is sent, may have less amount, because how it is collected is more important. So whatever is sent to us, I am giving results for that, not the entire amount which has been seized by the police. It is written here. Then the note 2 is report shall not be reproduced except in full. And approval of the laboratory can provide assurance that part of the laboratory report are not taken out of the context. Why this is mentioned? Because sometimes only 1 or 2 lines are reproduced. It gives the wrong impression of the entire examination. And then the third one, after examination, the remnants of the exhibits were sealed with the CSO examiner. And examining officer or the reporting officer has to be identified, like signature of the examination with full name and designation, and of course date. Okay. Ensuring validity of results, or I must say this is quality control exercise. How the quality control activities are conducted in the laboratory. So laboratory shall have a procedure for monitoring the validity of results. Again, see several things are given here, like use of SRM and CRM. Then be comparing the result with the standard reference material or standard secondary reference material. Number 2, use of alternative instrumentation that has been calibrated to provide traceable results. That means it's generally done. In forensics, any sample which is examined by 3 techniques. Okay. Functional checks of measuring and testing equipments. Use of check or working standard with control charts and where applicable. These are the quality control exercises. Intermediate checks on measuring equipment. Replicate test. This replicate test or retesting is also done during the assessment team visit. When a sample already examined is given to somebody on the laboratory, which is also expert, and results are then verified. So in the replicate testing, the samples is divided into 3 or 4 parts, given to different persons on the same field. And examinations results or outcome is compared, whether they are giving the correct results or not. Retesting means the same thing is being tested by different persons at different times. Or recalibration retained item. Then the correlation results of different characteristics of an item. Review of reported results. What we can do, we are not doing anything, but we are reviewing the reported results, whether things are going as per the requirements or not. Inter-laboratory comparisons and test of blind samples. Okay. Laboratory shall monitor its performance by comparison with results of other laboratories, that the ILCs. And laboratory shall also participate in proficiency testing. What is proficiency testing? It is like examination of somebody. As we are sitting in our annual or semester examinations every time and checking our performance. So similarly, laboratory, what they can do, laboratory can participate in PT programs. PT programs are the examination of some certain samples conducted by authorized agencies And those authorized agencies, they advertise for their programs. Laboratories have to enroll in those programs. They will send samples to you. You will examine using your own methods and submit the report. So similarly, several other laboratories are going to take part in the PT programs. And final real outcome is published by the authorized agency conducting the proficiency testing. And laboratory has to check its performance in that result sheet, whether results were okay or not. This participation in proficiency testing is must in worldwide. In India, still not much being weight is being given because PT providers are very less in India. But in US, United States, every scientist has to undergo this PT program or proficiency testing program. For example, if somebody is doing examination of alcohol in the laboratory, right from the beginning, he has to pass the proficiency in that particular testing. Only then he will be allowed to carry out the examination. Okay. This is very, very important in coming days or coming within a year or so. It will be compulsory for all the laboratories in India also. Now it is still mandatory because not mandatory because PT providers are very less in India. But what we can do, or laboratories can do, they can participate in international programs. This is very common. Quality control data shall be analyzed and corrective actions can be taken accordingly. Okay. Audit and assessment are same. In financial aspect, we say audit. In science activities or accreditation, and we say assessment. Internal audit is conducted by our own member of the same laboratory to determine compliance with the policies and procedures. So aim of the audit is to evaluation of the adequacy of the system and recommend improvement in the system, assess compliance with the policies and procedures, and of course, compliance with the state and federal laws and obligations. Now, this is compulsory again. Laboratories shall conduct internal audits at planned intervals. Okay, this is a must. So time is passing very fast. So I'm coming to the next slide. Laboratory shall establish, implement, maintain an audit program. Because they have to see, every laboratory has to see the performance and check its performance by audit. And implement appropriate corrective and preventive actions without undue delay. This is the crux of these things. Now comes the management review. See, top management has to be always in touch with the routine laboratory activities, and it has to take decision accordingly. So under section 8.9.1, agenda item has been given. Laboratory management shall review its management system at planned intervals, normally after each and every audit, at least once in a year, to ensure its continuing suitability and adequacy and effectiveness, including stated policies and objectives related to fulfillment of the document. Whenever I say document, that is ISO 17025. And this is the agenda. Already agenda has been set by the ISO on what topics the management review shall be undertaken. So number one is changes in the internal or external issues related to the that are relevant to the laboratory. Number two, fulfillment of objectives. Three, suitability of policies and procedures. Four, status of actions from previous management reviews. Five, outcome of recent internal audits. Then corrective actions, whatever has been taken by the laboratory. Assessment by the external bodies. See, whatever report is submitted by the external assessment bodies is also discussed, and decisions are taken accordingly. Changes in volume and type of work. Customer and personal feedback. Feedbacks are not complaints. So whatever feedbacks are there for improvement. On complaints, sometimes somebody comes, customer comes, or any party comes, they complain. What corrective action has been taken? Effectiveness of any implemented improvement, because whatever improvements are planned and implemented, they are effective or not. If not, then what further actions are required? Adequacy of resources, sometimes resources may be limited, fund requirements are maybe there, or scientists are not there. So all those things are discussed and proper decisions are taken. Results of risk identification. In particular test or particular work, what are the risks and how to overcome? These are things to be discussed. Then what are the outcome of quality assurance activity and other relevant factors such as monitoring activities. This is the agenda. The outputs from management review shall record all decisions and action related to at least effectiveness of the management system and processes, improvement of laboratory activities related to fulfillment of a requirement of this document, and provision of required resources and any other change, of course. Okay. So these are the things. This is all about, in very short, I have discussed the requirements of ISO, though it's a very comprehensive document and it is not possible to discuss each and every line and every clause of the ISO 17025 in 2 hours time. Okay. But my advice to all the participants to please download the ISO and read it at least twice or thrice, so they will be able to understand about the requirements. Now, question comes, how many FSLs are accredited in India? Are all FSLs accredited? No. Why? Because still it is voluntary exercise. Only CFSL Hyderabad, Chandigarh, Kolkata, New Delhi, FSL AP, Haryana, Gujarat, their league, and Kerala, they are accredited. Once I was asked why they are not accredited, so I have written this. There is little incentive for a lab director to seek accreditation because it creates more work with no promise of extra resources to address staffing and training needs. The importance of accreditation, I want to just share my own experience here. Once I went to BARC Mumbai for a session on quality management, and I was discussing all these things which I have discussed here. A very senior authority on the BARC, I'm not naming the person, very, very senior person, authority. What he said, Dr. Shukla, you have discussed all these requirements, and also requirement of going for NABL accreditation. But you have seen our BRC laboratories. We are having state-of-the-art facilities, equipments, and best scientists of the world in BRC. But we are having no accreditation of our laboratories by any authority, any agency like NABL. Are we incompetent? Are we incompetent? Naturally, I was their guest. So it was very difficult for me to confront him. So what I said, sir, I know I have seen your facilities here. I have discussed things with the scientists. I have met so many scientists. We were also having one unit at BRC Mumbai. So I said, we are having a unit BRC. I know they are the best one. But I'm talking of ISO guidelines. And anybody, any laboratory which is fulfilling the requirements of the ISO and got the certification, then it can be certified they are accredited laboratory or they are doing quality work. So as far as the requirement of the ISO is concerned, I am not going to say that you are competent, because you have to pass the assessment process. It is like that somebody has studied a lot but not appeared in the examination. So without degree, you cannot say he's MSc in forensic science. So that I said, I know that you are the best one, but you please go for NABL accreditation if required. So in nutshell, this is a summary of ISO 1702025. Okay, it's all customer oriented. The future, the only way all forensic laboratories will adopt adequate and constant quality assurance standards and become accredited, if it is mandated by the government legislation. Because in India, unless by law we go, nobody will go for voluntary accreditation. So mandatory accreditation can also have the benefit of additional resources in order to meet the professional standards that have been set. And in coming years, standards for forensic laboratory will continue to become more strict, perhaps following a trend that already exists for the environmental and pharmaceutical industries. So it is the way out. Now, at last, the very, very important thing which I must mention here, because I have served in MIT a few years back. Two students, after clearing BSc examination from here, they were selected in SCL on the basis of what they have learned in the quality management class, not in the forensic one. They got job because they know much as compared to other candidates on quality management systems. So they worked here in SCL. So if you go through all this quality management exercise knowledge, it is highly beneficial for each and every forensic scientist, and more importantly for the students. So thank you very much for listening me silently. I am here to answer each and every question, whatever being asked. Thank you. Any question? Hmm? All are sitting silent. I have 15 minutes to answer all your questions, all your queries, or you require any additional information. I know that this quality management class is very difficult to understand initially, but very easy thing. Just read ISO guidelines twice or thrice. I think you can speak like me also. Okay. Any question? I'm not have no voice coming.
Isha, unmute.
Please unmute.
Hello, everyone. If there are any questions, you can ask. Participants. So I guess there are no questions.
No
from-
question. But my advice to everyone, please go through the ISO guidelines. Again, I'm saying read it twice or thrice. Then it will be very easy for you, not only in your examination, but for future interviews and future selections for a good post. Already I've given my example of 2 girls got selected in SCL. Maybe more, I don't know. So there are no questions. So thank you. Thank you,
Sir,
everyone.
sir, there is one question from Diksha Upadhyay. Is there any Amity Institute Quality Management Program from British Council?
I don't think so. There is any specific institute is there or program is there for quality management.
Sir, BSI courses that are offered to the student.
BSI is not ISO 17025.
But they offer BSI
Uh-huh.
courses for quality management, and the course is available in their APW. So they can.
But we are offering this quality management course in BSc level at BSc level. In MSc also we have some part of it.
Yes, sir, we are.
So if you are a student of BSc in forensic science in my MIT, I think nothing is less. Okay.
Sir, there is one more question from Sanchita. What is the difference between ISO 17025 and NABL accreditation in quality management?
See, ISO is guideline. ISO guideline is issued by ISO, International Standardized Organization, having headquartered in Geneva. ISO was established in 1947, and it is an international body which is drafting or making all those standards, including ISO 17025. It's guideline. Okay. And NABL is the agency which is there, the role of NABL to assess the laboratories, whether laboratories are working as per the ISO guidelines or not. Okay, 2 things. ISO 17025 is the requirement, guidelines, how to work for a quality management system in the laboratory. But how the lab is assessed or examined or whatever you say, this is the NABL in India. In US, we have Escalate, Lab International, FQS, NATA in Australia. Or I said because all these agencies nationwide, they have MRAs with each other. So NABL do the assessment as per the ISO requirements. Okay. Any other question?
Do anyone have any other questions? No question, sir.
No question.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Okay.
for your
Thank
session,
you.
sir. It was really enlightening.
Mhm.
and it was really interesting to know about the quality management system in the detail.
Okay, thank you, Nisha.
Thank you, sir. So on the behalf of entire Institute of Forensic Sciences, as a student coordinator of WAC, I am glad to express my vote of thanks. Special thanks to our eminent speaker, Professor Dr. S.K. Shukla sir, for accepting our invitation and for being there with us today. Your thoughts have truly inspired us, sir. The session was really insightful and interesting. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from the I would like to thank the program director, Professor K.V. Ravi Kumar, all the faculty members of AIFS for giving me this opportunity. At last, I would like to thank the organizing team and the members of Amity University. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for attending this session.
Thank you and best of luck for everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
And good evening, everyone. We will be joining on Monday at the same time with the new technical plenary sessions. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.